So it's October and it's LGBTQ History Month. I wanted to invite a few friends to talk about why LGBTQ History Month is important and what it means.
For the trans community, the idea of a history month is so important because there is so much history that has yet to be uncovered in the way that people lived their lives in a different period of time, and that history is something that very much informs how we're going to think about the present and then really what's possible for the future. But we're just making history now in one context, and so to know history in other contexts seems critical.
Yeah. When I think about LGBTQI+ History Month, I really think about Stonewall, like consistently. And I think about who was leading that effort, and it was Black and Hispanic trans women. LGBTQI+ History Month is just that, right? Knowing that this fight was started by trans people.
And I think going off of that, definitely as a student, still in the process of learning all of that. And I think especially for students who do feel safe to explore our identities and do feel safe to express ourselves, making sure that our entire community is feeling that way, because I know there are times when that's not true, and when we leave behind people who are so prominent in our queer and LGBTQIA+ community, that shouldn't be happening, and it is, because we're lacking all of that, framework, the education on it. So discussing that helps those of us who do have that space to widen the space and make the seat at the table.
One word, Emerson, right? Stories are what we do, and we probably all have experiences of how people's opinions have changed once they came to know us. But then I think about, just for the broader society, for folks to make that connection between queer people who've made history, who've made important changes that they just didn't even pay attention to. We can't let that go, right? That's an important part of kind of claiming our space and, making sure that we don't let folks who would like to push us back into the closet or erase us be successful.
I think for queer people, for so long, our identities and our existence were, shamed and questioned. And I think that's part of our journey is, coming to that place where we're like, I don't need to be ashamed. I don't need to stop myself from being my full self, my full authentic self in any space that I enter. And I think there's, along the lines that you were saying, Jim, something so powerful about seeing yourself wholly, but also seeing yourself reflected, whether that's in coursework, in literature, in movies, in music. And I think that's something that's powerful, especially for our young students that are figuring that out, being able to turn to something and be like, okay, that feels right. That feels like me. I think it's powerful.
I think we're lucky at Emerson that we have a wealth of resources, be it offices, organizations, support groups, in addition to being in this wonderful city of Boston that gives us access to so much. I hope everybody will take the time to research the resources, to connect with the people on campus who can be advisors and mentors and advocates and friends, and to know that you're not alone, that there's a community here, and that we have a history at Emerson that is just as important and is going to shape you in the future too.